Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a full face of Demi Colour. I put together a little palette of some of my favorite and most used Demi colors, and I'm going to be showing you how I can do my whole face of makeup just using these colorful shades. If you're new to Demi Colour and you're not familiar with it, I have a few other videos that will explain it more in depth, but you know, just basically what it is it's sort of like a color correcting makeup. I'm going to be using these shades in complementary tones to the things on my face that I would like to hide or filter away. And it's going to make my imperfections sort of fade away and become invisible. And then my natural beauty will be able to shine through. The really cool thing about Demi Colour is that you use the tiniest amount of product and it just really creates an invisible makeup look. So it really just looks like my skin and it doesn't cover up the natural luminous nature of my skin. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm actually doing a really exciting giveaway with these colors over on my Instagram page. So if you want to head over there and check out the rules for how to enter, that would be great. I will explain more about the giveaway at the end of the video. Okay, let's just dive right in. I'm going to get started using these 8 colors to do my face. I might end up having to throw a blush shade in there at some point because I didn't add one to this little compact, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start sculpting. I want to add color to my face and sculpt, which is basically the same as contouring. So I'm going to be defining my features, still using complementary shades to the tones that I'm seeing in my skin. So I'm going to begin with this one right here. This is neutral red. This is probably my favorite of the Sculpt shades just because I have a lot of green undertones in my face. So I'm going to start there. I'm using my shape brush. Just gonna get some of that red. So right here on my cheeks, I have a lot of sort of sallow green tones to my skin. I have a lot of green. So I'm gonna start just right underneath where my cheekbone is with this neutral red shade, just very lightly using the smallest amount of product. And boom, cheekbone. My hair is sticking to it. There, there we go, cheekbones. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this red shade to my hairline because I have this sort of lighter skin around where my hairline is. And this just helps it blend in with the rest of my face. And this neutral red tone just really looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to switch colors for a second and I'm going to use this one right here, which is a neutral orange Sculpt shade. So I'm going to be using just a little bit of this orange on my forehead mainly to add some color and some bronzy warmth along my hairline just to bring more of the focus to the center of my face and create some shadows, but it just creates a really natural bronzy look. All right, I'm gonna go back to this neutral red shade right here. I'm gonna use my blur brush, which is a little bit smaller, dense brush. And I'm gonna sculpt around my nose a little bit with this red shade. So I'm just going to very lightly apply this down either side of my nose. These Demi Colour shades are very sheer. I like to think of it almost like I'm painting with watercolors instead of like acrylic paint. It doesn't have very much opacity. So what I'm really doing is just changing the colors that you're seeing in my skin. I'm not covering my skin, if that makes sense. You can still see through it, but it's like, as you can see, I'm playing with the colors on my face and immediately it made my nose look slimmer. But you know, when I turn my head to the side and everything, you can't see it. It's pretty invisible. It's amazing. I take a little bit of my orange Sculpt and just put that underneath here to define the tip of my nose. Like, you see how the light bounces off the very tip of my nose? I'm just kind of sculpting around that. So the only thing you see is that little point. Same with right here. I really like to define this area to make my nose look really slim. Now I'm gonna use some more of that red and I'm just gonna do a little bit under my bottom lip. just for a more pouty look. You could even take a smidge of this and just put it like behind your lips, if that makes sense, to create a more full lip look. There we go. Now we're going to use some of these more pastel colors right here to erase any distractions that I'm seeing on my face. So when I look at my face, there are things that I don't love when I look at it. You know, I have some darkness under my eyes, like a lot of people. I have a lot of redness around my nose. I have like some blemishes and things and some melasma. Like, I don't want to see all those things. Those are the things that I would traditionally want to cover with foundation, but I don't want to cover my skin today. I just want to tone down those things so that I'm not noticing them anymore. So what I'm going to do is use the complementary color in my palette to what I'm seeing on my face to erase them. So the first place that I'm going to start is this redness around my nose right here. This is broken capillaries. A lot of people have this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at my face real up close and personal, first of all. So right here and in the crease of my nostril, it's more dark. So this is actually like a blue violet shade right here. So I'm actually going to use a orangey yellow, a yellowy orange shade to neutralize and filter away that blue violet. So I'm going to use this one right here. This is yellow orange. And I'm using the tiniest bit on my blur brush, or no, this is the bright brush, sorry. And I'm just feather light touching the skin here to take away that darkness. Okay, so underneath here, this is more of an angry, inflamed red color. So this is actually just, I mean, it's really a red violet under here. So my favorite color to use for that is this one right here, which is actually like a greenish yellow shade. It's yellow with just like a hint of green to it. So I'm just gonna take the tiniest bit of that, and I'm just gonna sort of erase this violet redness under my nose here. It should look less like I'm covering anything on my skin and more like I'm just wiping away the color that I don't want to show. I'm just toning the skin. I'm not covering anything. I'm not applying, it shouldn't look like I'm applying color. It should look like I'm removing color, if that makes sense. There we go. And then I like to just fluff with my brush to make sure it's all blended in. All right, let's tackle the under eye area next, just because I feel like this is the kind of thing that most people are really bothered about with their complexion, that they really want to brighten up and cover these dark circles. Mine aren't that bad, honestly, compared to others, but like, you know, I do have some darkness right here, and I have like some veins right here that create some darkness. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of the very darkest points, and I'm going to do as little as possible, and it will make my eyes look naturally brighter, and I won't have any makeup texture under my eyes. I won't have any creasing or like visible makeup texture under my eyes. It's amazing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start getting the very darkest points, like in these hollows under my eyes right here. Anything dark like this, or like any veins, that's all excess blue in the skin. So what I'm going to wanna do is use an orange shade to neutralize that blue. So I'm gonna start with 03, which is a more pigmented orange. So I'm gonna get just the very darkest spots, which for me is this little capillary right here. And then just in this hollow right here, a couple little capillaries. It sounds silly to be basically spot correcting capillaries, but it's amazing how just removing the tiniest little dark spot makes the whole area look bright. I mean, look at the huge difference already. I've barely done anything. I mean, if that's not magic, I don't know what is. I'm gonna switch and use this one right here. This is 01, so it's a little bit lighter of an orange, a little bit less pigmented. now I'm gonna use some more of that 01, and I'm gonna get this vein right here in the corner of my eye that creates a lot of darkness in the inner corners. See, look how that just vanished. Okay, so my under eyes are effectively done. I started noticing that if I did too much, it really started to almost make my under eyes look colorless and too bright, which sort of creates a new problem. So by doing the smallest amount possible, it actually makes me the happiest with how it looks. And it still looks so radiant, and you can see the natural iridescence of my skin still, which I love. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, so next, I think I'm going to deal with my melasma right here. This is probably my chief skin concern. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation, so I'm just gonna go ahead and deal with that real quick. Okay, now I just have a couple spots that I want to cover up that are really ugly. So I'm going to use, for this one, back by my ear, you see how dark that is? It's dark. That means it has a lot of excess blue in it. So I'm just going to go straight in with 03. It's also really hard for me to see when it's back by my ear. I think I'm getting it. My sideburns are in the way. I think I'm getting it. It's really hard to see. I might just leave this guy alone pretty much because I can't even see it anyway. For my blemishes, I tend to use different shades of orange and yellow because unless you have a really new, angry, super inflamed zit, that's probably excess red, but other than that, it's usually excess violet or blue. So you just need to sort of reassess each one. I'm just going around dotting on little blemishes that I just want to go away. And like I said, this just becomes second nature. I'm not really thinking too much, like what color should I use? I'm operating off instinct at this point. Okay, we're done. I used all these colors except one. So I just have one left. It's this one right here, this lavender shade. It's BV1. So it's a blue violet. It's a very icy, light violet shade. So I'm going to use, it's black, but the ones on the website are silver. But this is the bright brush. So I'm gonna use this little brush and I'm gonna get just a little bit of that violet. And I like to use this as like a highlighting, brightening shade. And I'm using the tiniest amount. You really don't want a lot. And I'm just gonna brighten up under my brow bone here, under my brows, on my brow bone. And then I take a little bit of this. This is my favorite trick. I'm just gonna pop this on this yellowy skin that's right on the inner corners of my eyes. And it's just gonna make them look so naturally bright. This is basically like using highlighter without visible product on your face. No glitter, it just looks like your natural skin is glowing, which I mean, that's what we all want, right? So my eyes just look really bright and awake. Now I'm gonna take some more of that and I like to just pop it right on my Cupid's bow. Makes my lips look so full. Then I'll take the fluffy side, just get a little bit of that lavender, and I just like to put this just down the center of the nose, tip of the nose, and then the chin. See how it's just brightening up these areas without really adding anything? Just creating more light. I apply this anywhere where I would normally apply illuminator or highlighter. Just the tops of the cheekbones. I didn't add blush, and honestly, I don't even feel like I need to. I honestly don't even feel like I need to because my natural rosiness right here looks like blush. So that's kind of the cool thing about it. I feel like a lot of people want to cover up any redness in their skin and then they add blush on top. And that just kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. Like my skin has natural color in it, so I'm just gonna leave it and that's my blush, right? So yeah. All right, so we're done. This is what the face looks like. Very natural. It looks like I'm not wearing any makeup at all. It just looks like this is what I woke up looking like, so fresh. It's not accurate, but that's what it looks like. All right, so let's get to the giveaway. I am doing a giveaway for the next week over on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do. The links for everything are down below. And I am going to be giving away this palette. I'm giving away these colors. These are my personal colors. You'll get brand new ones, but these are the colors that I will be giving away. These 8 shades, and they will come in this Demi 12 palette. So this will hold all of those shades and have room for more if you ever decide to grow your collection. And then it's also going to have, and I don't have it sitting here right now. Oh, here we go. It's also going to have a brush cleaning tile. So this is one of those dry brush cleaning tiles. It's like a dry sponge. So you take your brush in between colors and just kind of swirl it on here, and that gives you a clean brush so that you're not mixing your demi shades together. So it's really helpful. And this goes right in the palette as well. And I'm also giving away 3 demi brushes. This is a big deal, people. 3 of these guys. So the ones that I'm giving away are the ones that I use the most and that I use today. So we have the spot brush, which is the teeny tiny one. That's the most important one. And then the bright brush, which is just a little bit bigger, used for a little bit bigger spots. And then the shape brush. This is perfect for sculpting, for adding blush, for any kind of larger area. So we're doing these 3 brushes as well. So 8 colors, a compact brush cleaning tile, and 3 brushes. The value of this giveaway is, I think, $312. I tallied it up. So this is massive. I would love you to go enter. You have to enter over on Instagram. It's my most recent post, but I will link it down below. And if you need any help or you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like to be color matched, I will put my Demi color match form down below so I can help you pick out makeup shades that would best suit your skin tone so you can build your own custom palette if you don't win the giveaway. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.